Welcome to Magic Moderna, and no, we're not talking about the Moderna today. I thought I'd do a quick video on my biggest gripe with the amazing Taycan, which in so many ways, you know, is brilliant. And there's so much more content I need to do about this car. The braking and what setting it's in is definitely deserves a video. I think anyone who's used to driving sports cars and then drives a Taycan, you really have to get used to the braking. But today, we're not talking about that. We are going to talk about my number one gripe with the Taycan, and that is how you get to use the air controls, the climate controls in this car. And this is where the scene of the crime is. The vents, which are completely solid vents. They do not move. And why don't they move? They don't move because it was decided by someone very smart in Porsche that, no, we'll get you to press a few buttons and then swivel around with things, and that would be so much better than actually just manually twisting in them and turning them like just about every other manufacturer on the planet. So yeah, so what you have to do is, so you go into climate and it gives you this lovely menu, and then you have to manually move these things around, guessing and re-guessing as to whether they're pointing at your face or not, and moving them again, and then they're not easy to move, quite subtly. And then you've got this focused and diffused and individual, and you're like, oh my god, please just give me good old-fashioned air vents back. I used them in my car the other day and I was like, oh my god, this is so much better. And I think like that's the only thing with this Taycan. It's got all this lovely touchscreen stuff. You see, if I can use this as a mouse mat, basically. You can see it move up there. I mean, it's okay, it's interesting, but it's like, it's too much hassle. It's just too much hassle. Just let me press some buttons. So that is just a very quick thoughts on Porsche overcomplicating the world of climate control. And mine's actually going in for some sort of update. They sent me a letter a while ago about doing a computer upgrade. I think some of these things are going to be able to be colourful, because I do think this is one of the worst things about Porsches. It's always been the same, this sort of monochrome, black, white, grey, white, whatever. It just looks so basic. It's like a kid put it together. I'm hoping this upgrade, which also apparently will lengthen battery life, is going to go some way towards you know, solving for that. And while I'm on little tips and tops of this car, it took me ages, and this is maybe because I don't read the manuals properly, but it took me ages. But just in case anyone out there hasn't found it, this button, that just turns the recoup on. Because my biggest gripe before was, you know, probably if you're listening, you probably think it's my stupidity, but you know, to get the recoup to go on, I'd go into, I think it's this setting, and then I'd do like recoup, and then I'd pick the one I wanted. I'm like, oh my god, there's got to be an easier way. Because again, a little gripe, every time you come out of this or switch the car off, Porsche drops you out of whatever setting you had, so you have to keep going back and setting it, which is irritating. So yeah, after much time, I discovered that second button down, which if you just press that, immediately puts you into recoup mode, which I don't know how good it is or how much recuperation actually goes on. But yeah, I was pleased to see that, because that fiddling around again was just way too many buttons going on for my liking. So yes, that's just I was just inspired by it, because I was messing around with the vents, as we're all dealing with cold weather at the moment, and yeah, I thought I'd just spread my frustration and see if others felt the same. So it's a sunny day. Thank you for tuning in to Magic Modern Nut. See you again soon.